Hello everyone, this is Kathy from Stampin' from the Heart.15 with another Halloween card to share with you today. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the videos at my channel. And these new products, of course, will launch here just in a couple of days on September the 1st. So at that time, we'll have everything listed as far as the item codes if you'd like to place an order. But until then, let's go ahead and have fun and let's look at how to make this really cute Boo card. And let me tell you a few of the products that we'll be using. The stamp kit is called Halloween Treat. If you've been watching it in my videos, you've seen that one already. And then that's where much of the material is going to be coming from. But I'm also going to be taking two words from this Project Life Seasonal Snapshot 2015 stamp collection. This will be in the new holiday catalog as well. I'm going to be using Wicked and Night from that. I'll be using two die sets. You've seen me use one of them before, and one of them is new. The one that's new is called Lots of Labels Framelit die, so you can kind of get an idea there of what they look like. So I'll be using two sizes of those. So when you see them here, they're actually number 2, 3, and then I'm using number 4 as well in those. So I'll set that aside. In the Framelit dies, or rather the Boo To You die set, I'll be using the word Boo, I'll be using the owl, and I'll be using the spider. So that is just an awesome set. And as you probably know, this particular die set, or this stamp set, the dies will cut out everything except for the word Trick or Treat. That's a bundle, so you can buy those together, and I would highly suggest that. The other thing that is part of the collection that I'm using, you can get some of these doilies, so it would be a full circle. I'm going to use a half of one. We'll do a quarter on the outside and a quarter on the inside. I'm going to be using, excuse my arm, some of the new black glimmer paper. You can see the shine on that, really, really beautiful. And then I'll be using our basic black paper and our orange. So to get started, I cut a black piece of cardstock 10 inches by 7, scored it in half, so my card will be a 5 by 7. That's kind of the size I like to use. We'll be doing 2 orange panels, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, one on the outside, one on the end. We're going to be using just a scrap of the spider and spider web from the Halloween collection. And then I'll just be using scraps of black and orange for the different things that I'll be cutting out. The next thing that I'll be using some of the ribbon that is pumpkin pie. We'll be using some dazzling diamonds, just the plain dazzling diamonds, to add a little glimmer to the spider. I'll be using Memento black ink, and I'll also be using a white gel pen. I'll be using Tombo Glue and glue dots. And then, oh, I forgot to mention, I'm also using the bat from that second Project 2015 stamp collection. So let's get started. All right, put all these aside and put this cardstock aside. So the first thing, just to save time, that I did was just to show you here, and I use washi tape a lot of times to hold my framelits in place as I cut them out so they don't shift. So this is just some washi tape. So I stamped my owl with the Memento ink. So as you can see, I just stamp him, put him on a big block. I ink it up well and then just stamp it down, and then I cut that out, and then the same thing with the spider. And then the bat, we're going to be just stamping directly on the paper as we go along. So these guys are already stamped and cut out, so you just pop them out. If you get any of your washi tape on there, just scrape it away. So that's what they look like when they're all done. I've already got the spider cut out here as well, and an extra owl. Then the Boo is your worded Boo. I cut that out of the glimmer paper, but in case you haven't seen the die, this is what the die looks like. It's really cute. And then these are from the Framelits. And what I did for those, for the headstones, I actually just cut these out of black paper. These are the headstones. And I just tuck the other end under there, and it looks like a headstone. Isn't that cute? I thought that was rather clever the other night when I figured that one out. So I cut those out, which is your basic cutting. So we'll go ahead and set those aside. I'm not boring you by actually cutting. And then I've got one orange one that we're going to use on the inside, and a glimmer one that we're going to use on the inside for the headstones inside there, and I'll be cutting those off. So those are all the pieces there that we'll be using when we actually assemble our card here in just a moment. So set all that stuff aside. A piece of orange ribbon, and then your white glimmer pen and the spider web. All right, let's get moving here. So we'll set those aside. So I just, like I said, took my cardstock, and what we'll do is we'll just work on one of the orange panels on the front first. So we'll grab that, kind of set that over there, scoot those aside. So let's go ahead here now. What I did was I cut this spider paper the same width across at the base as my orange, which is 4 3/4, and then this actually was kind of an erratic edge from when I cut up there. So you'll just have to look at your paper and decide where do you want to cut it, so that if you get this kind of a funky looking skyline there, if you will. So I've cut it across there, and I'm going to go ahead now and cut it right down here, just so that you can visually see what I'm talking about when I told you or telling you that I'm cutting along these lines. So we're just going to do that. I did have to kind of think about it on my second go round of where exactly those cuts were going to be, because you know the paper is pretty erratic. All right, so that's how that's going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue around 3 edges, but leaving the middle open. So here you could do whatever you like to do. I'm just going to use my Tombo Glue. Tombo Glue dries really firm and pretty quickly, and it holds nice and snug on your paper. So we're just lining the bottom completely up so that it covers edge to edge on the orange, and then slide it until you get it right where you want it, and then press those edges down. Okay, now the Boo is just going to go right in here. I've got this new glue. I forgot to show you that in the beginning. This is all part also of the new Christmas catalog. This is called the Fine Tip Glue Pen by Stampin' Up. You can see the real fine tip on that. And then the cap has a little wire in it, so you actually plug it back together there, and it keeps it from drying out. What I found though is this is extremely liquidy, and you just want to be careful with it. Don't overdo it or it'll squish out on you. So I'm just following the wording, but I am doing it very sparingly. Now, if you don't want to get your fingers messy, which I find I do all the time, I'm going to go ahead here. Oh, I got a little bit of my washi tape showing there. There we go. I got him out of there. Okay. So we're just going to put the Boo down, just kind of at an angle, wherever makes sense, wherever you like it. I really like this sparkly paper. I didn't have it when I made this one. That really adds a neat little piece of glimmer to that. So here is the doily that I was speaking of. As you know, these come in a full circle, so I'm cutting this in half already, and then I'm going to cut it just right in half again. And that will just give us a little bit of spider web in 2 spots. Now you can go ahead and cut that end off if you would like, or you can go ahead and keep it on there. I think this time, just kind of the way the cutout worked, I'm going to leave it on there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this glue again. Now again, go sparingly. I found the first time I did this, I had some of it squirt out where I didn't want it, and I was not happy with my results. We want to be happy with what we do, right? We spend a lot of time making these cards. We want to make sure we do them right. All right, you can leave it a little bit loose. You don't have to glue the whole darn thing down there. Okay, for the headstones, what I did was I just cut them out from my Framelit dies and then just kind of poked them in there. Or you can go ahead and cut the bottom off if you would like. And again, you can put them in any kind of configuration that you want. You may do 2, you may do 3. It's really kind of up to you, whatever works for however your paper works out. What I'll probably do here, based on how that is, maybe I'll just put 2 together there. So before I go ahead and glue them in there, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest in peace on the front with my white gel pen. I love these little white gel pens. They really add some nice punch to your artwork. Rest in peace. There we go. We'll let that dry. And we will take a little piece of our, which it doesn't look like I got it out either, our little gold thread. And I'm going to go ahead and get the spider going. So this is what the gold thread looks like. You can order that anytime on Stampin' Up's website. It's not any kind of a seasonal thing. That's it's already out there. It's out there all the time. So we'll just take a little piece, and once we get it done, we're actually going to cut it down. While I'm doing this, let me go ahead and put my lid back on this. Now this is pretty small, so you just kind of have to line it up there and give it a twist there and get that on there. Okay, so on the back of the spider, what I like to do, which really helps him stick well, is a full-size dimensional works really well on the back of this spider. It nearly covers the entire back, which actually gives it quite a bit of a good anchor. Then I'm just going to attach the end of that thread. Oh, now wasn't that silly? I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, what a dummy. All right, let's do this again here. Let's attach that. Let's cut that off. Touch the thread to the back. All right. Set those aside while that dries. Now, again, probably going to want to know where those headstones are. So let's put those in there. Let's put that one there. That makes the most sense from what I'm seeing on this configuration. But we're going to put him all the way over. Now let's look, where do we want this baby? We might do that and put the little one over there, just because this is the way this is cut out. Let's do that. Don't really like it fanning out like a deck of cards, but you know, sometimes, well, let's try that. Let's do that. And then this little guy can stand by itself. You know, no two cards are alike. Handcrafted. Well, we've got a place to go with our Spidey. You want him basically coming down, the suggestion that he's coming down off of that cobweb. So we'll do that. And I think this time I'll just bring it around to the back and stick that down with a little bit of tape. You could use a little bit of washi tape. No one's going to see it. Whatever you would like, but let's just stick it down. One of the others, I actually tied it to the spider web, but whatever you'd like to do. Any way to anchor it down there. Okay, and then when we're all done, we'll put the dazzling diamonds on his back to make him all glittery. So now what's done, we need to just work on our owl. So we know we cut him out, and I did a little sparkly orange bow there. Let's just take our pumpkin and let's just go here and make us a little bow, and then we can cut off the excess. Sometimes I try to be a little bit too frugal, and then I end up wasting more because I have to redo. Yeah, you know, we try and do our best. Mother always taught me to be frugal. I bet your mother did too. Okay, I think that'll be good. We'll snip those ends off. He's not a very big owl, so we can't have too big of a bow. And we will just do a little mini glue dot right there to put him down on there. A little pokey tool, a little glue dot, and pop him down. All right, then we will attach him. I'll just use a couple of dimensionals again, or yeah, I'm going to do a dimensional. I think I'll do 2. You don't have to have him elevated, but it does give some nice texture to your card. You know, most of the time whenever we make something, we do use dimensionals in one way or another. So again, you could put him over there, you could put him over here, you could put him in the middle. Since we already did this side, how about if we do something along that way? Just a little bit different. Front's already done. All right, let's set that aside. Let's go into the inside now. So the inside is our second piece of orange, and you'll see that I have the spider web here in the bottom. So let's go ahead and get our glue back out. Just a couple of little dabs, you know, here and there. I don't like to do too much. Just trying to line up that, that corner there. I didn't go ahead and cut these. I went ahead and left them so I could show you what I did here. And this is crooked, and I meant for it to be crooked. So before we get to that, let's go ahead and stamp our bats. So I mounted the little bat on just a clear little block. and you know, kind of gave it a little twist on the ink, because there is actually like a double line there on those bats. That's not a mistake. It's actually that way. So just make sure you get a good press there. I just re-inked my memento pad so it's nice and juicy, which is great. And right there. And then on this orange one, we're going to stamp the Wicked Knight. And I'm not sure that I got that out and ready to go. It doesn't look like I did. So these are clear. So we have our Wicked, and we have the word Knight. So on this one, you can assemble them however you would like on whatever size block that you would like, whatever you feel like is going to make, that's going to work the best. This one may be too small, or it may not be. It may work just fine. Because our headstone's not real large. We don't have a real big area to work with. So we're going to have to keep this fairly compact. So I'm getting that lined up there on a line. Now the Wicked doesn't have to be particularly straight. Okay, there's nothing on that. So now we can kind of look to make sure that it's going to fit, and it will. So we'll ink up out of our memento. And let's get my stamp pad here, just so we make sure we get a good impression. Just kind of line it up. Sorry if my head's in the way. I do give him you know, a couple of seconds for that ink to transfer, so we get a good press. Okay, there we go. I can put that aside. So the other thing that I did then was I cut that off across the bottom, but I do want to make sure that it's nice and straight. So I am going to go ahead now and get out my cutter. I don't know about you, but I don't have the best success in cutting straight. So we will put that down there and give that a cut. And then on the black shiny one, we're just going to, it looks like that was a different size. I apologize for that, but we're going to keep going here. We're going to do it, yeah, pretty much the same there. So you can make things different with different sizes. Let's see how this looks. And if it doesn't look good, we'll get our cutter out and we will make one just like that one. I think that'll work. It'll be okay. I just kind of wanted it off-angled a little bit, because you know when you go into spooky cemeteries, oftentimes the headstones are a little bit crooked from the water and the rain. So what we could do is we could angle these sides down. Let's do that. So let's look at this and let's just kind of cut that like that. And let's cut this like that. And that works, and we'll just go ahead and snip this off just a little bit. After all, using my scissors. See, there you go. Made a liar out of me. Anyway, that gives us a little bit more of an angle. I kind of like that. All right, let's go with that. Now this is glitter paper, so we need to make sure that that sticks. Just kind of give it a second to grab, and if it doesn't work, you could always use a glue dot on there. It'll just, glue dots will work, or whatever you'd like. And that'll grab pretty quickly. Okay, I think that's pretty cute. All right, now we'll go back and get our card and let's put it all together. So while I have this open, we'll just go ahead and glue this down. Making sure you got about the same width all the way around. Give that a nice press. This way it gives you somewhere where you can write, but it's a little bit decorated on the inside. And then we're ready to go ahead and put our front down. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I think that's so cute. And there we go. So the only thing left to do is to go ahead and put some dazzling diamonds on the back of the Spidey, you know, so he's got a little bit of glitter. So he looks like a Black Widow. This dazzling diamonds is real jelly-like, and then inside it is the just pearlescent type glitter. Then when it dries, it just kind of flattens out, so it looks really cute. Now, one other thing that I did here on this particular one with this owl is I did use a non-Stampin' Up product, and this is called Glossy Accents by Ranger, but I wanted to give his eyes just a little extra dimension. So now I didn't get this ready prior to me doing this. So what you do is you get it going, and you make sure it's not going to squirt out, and you just want to do like a little dot. It's going to form a little peak, but it'll eventually kind of settle down. But go so much less than a lot when you do this kind of stuff. You can always go back, see how the little dot is? And one more time. Gonna let it pull it. Go straight up. Really, really cute. You can use these on a lot of things. If you don't happen to, or if you want like little black buttons or pearls or things on something, this is kind of nice to use. It also comes in white. I haven't used the white before. I actually used the black for the first time when I did this card. Okay, so there we go. Just a little bit different. Did the headstones in a little bit of a different order. On this one, I tied the string to the cobweb, and then here I took it around to the back, so whatever works best for you. I did the white gel pen, and I put the headstones in a little bit different order. I did a little bit different ribbon, so but the inside is essentially the same with the exception. I added the glimmer headstone paper, which I think is kind of cool, and then room to write. So that's it. That's how we made this particular Halloween card. This is the second video that I've done in Halloween cards. So I thank you so much for joining me today. And give me a big thumbs up if you like this card, and if you'd like to join my YouTube channel, I would sure appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.